The Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, MBTI, not only gives us insights into our basic personality types, but it also gives us insights into our emotional intelligence, our relationship within our personality. So be sure to watch the videos on interpersonal and intrapersonal factors as related to emotional intelligence. This is going to aid you in developing aspects within this intelligence. Now, this series of videos is going to focus on developmental challenges and some medius tasks to employ in order to improve your emotional intelligence and to be more in tune to those around you as well as to yourself. Let's look at the interpersonal part of emotional intelligence for the INFJ. Now remember, you are very creative, idealistic, and you have some great perspectives in life. You're also able to really look at complex situations and dig down deep to really explore and uncover those core values. You're masterful at promoting understanding and even being future-oriented within planning and envisioning. And that planning and envisioning goes along with your judging preference, while that future-oriented goes along with your intuitive preference. Now, within this interpersonal arena, remember that you have a natural tendency to really follow your insights, your intuitions. You're extremely passionate about your values and what symbolizes importance to you. That goes along with your feeling preference. However, make sure that you do the following things, that you really are pursuing a very verifiable data. You want to have some kind of foundational data to support your insights. This is going to be part of your less preferred functions, your tertiary functions as well, where you're going to really need to develop that sensing part of your personality type. You're also going to want to deal with ways of really developing conflict resolution and ways to handle discontent. Remember that as a feeling person, your feeling preference needs harmony. Harmony is the foundation. Without that harmony, you're really going to struggle. So look at ways that you can develop some conflict resolution strategies. Also recognize that some single-mindedness might happen, and this goes particularly towards ideals, because remember, you're idealistic, and you need to temper that idealistic part of you with an analytical and systematic evaluation. Now looking at the interpersonal side, remember that you are very intense, you're very calm at times, you're selective, and you have an inclusion part. That's where you're going to really rate people as to who you find more valuable than others, and you're going to be thoughtful in your responses to others because you're going to be very in tune to their needs as well as yours. This goes along with your feeling preference. However, in this interpersonal area, you're going to really need to develop some new methods of persuasion, and these persuasion parts need to be based on logic. Look at social preferences and your presence in life. How can you develop these logic areas and this area of persuasion? Become more relaxed. At times you tend to be very uptight, and that goes along with that judging preference. So find ways to be more relaxed and outgoing. And how can you be easy to be with and promote some feedback? What can you do? One thing is, remember to really include some time in your life where you can step back away from time and away from people, create a quiet place, and really participate in a reflection moment, or maybe a meditation if you so prefer that word. Look at becoming more interdependent. Remember that as an introvert, you tend to want to be independent, but a really strong part of your personality can be built around interdependency. Become more inclusive when you work with other people, and especially within groups. Let's look at some tasks of how you can improve your emotional intelligence. First, make sure that you really show respect. You want to show respect to other people and being persistent. Remember, this is part of your personality type already, so you just have to keep doing this. This is the easy part of improving your emotional intelligence. Also, look at those underlying values. Again, that goes with that feeling part of your preferences. And again, you already know this, but remember that you really pay attention to that and know what they are. So let's look at what we need to start doing to improve your emotional intelligence. As an INFJ, you really need to have more boundaries. You need to have clear boundaries between yourself and others. And so think of your boundaries not as a piece of rubber band where it's elastic and it keeps moving back and forth, but create a boundary out of wire so that the idea is it can bend a little bit if it really has to, but you do not want your boundaries to vacillate so much that you are giving up the things that are most important to you. So make sure that you have those clear boundaries. Next, be sure that you demonstrate interest in the present moment. So being an intuitive person, intuitive preference, you tend to be more future oriented, and now we're going to develop more of the sensing side of your personality type and the perceiving side, and this is where you're present minded. Be in the present. And one of the greatest ways to do this is to sit down with a reflection journal. Sit down in a moment. I really admire and inspire people to take some time to people watch. This is a fun way, especially as a feeling person, you might enjoy this. Sit in an area, maybe it's a wall, mall, a shopping area, and just watch people. Look at what's going on in the present moment and what can you learn from being present-minded. Next, let's look at some things that we need to stop doing. So stop assuming that your vision and your views are known to people. You may not be as transparent as you think. I know that I do this as an introvert. As many times I think that everybody already knows what I think, but that's not so. Just because I've been pondering and thinking things through does not mean that I have expressed those feelings to others or that they know what I'm dealing with. Also, stop being reluctant to share feedback. Remember what Sheryl Sandberg says, lean in, pull your chair up to the table, right? Give your opinion. People are wanting your feedback. If you are in a work environment, you are being paid to give your feedback. Your impressions, your assumptions, your intuitions, your feelings, all of this information is important to the project, to the group, to the work environment, the corporation, the family, and especially to yourself. Remember to take some time and watch the other two videos that are going to look at emotional intelligence within the interpersonal factors and the intrapersonal factors.